Have you ever stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, when a company talks about environmental responsibility, it's not just about being good? Like, what if it's actually a really smart business move, too?
Hmm, that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, what if there was some kind of global system, something recognized everywhere that helps companies cut their environmental impact, but also, and this is the kicker, helps them save money and get ahead of the competition?
Well, funny you should mention that.
Because today, that's exactly what we're diving into. ISO 14001.
Exactly.
At its heart, it's this international standard, right?
Yeah.
It gives companies a framework for an environmental management system, or EMS.
That's it, an EMS.
And it's less like a strict rule book, more like a strategic guide,
Right.
helping them use resources better, cut down waste, that kind of thing.
Precisely. It's about smarter operations.
So our mission today for this deep dive is to really unpack what ISO 14001 is all about, why it's actually become so important for companies and for us, really, and, how it actually works on the ground.
And I think for you listening, what's really compelling here is seeing how environmental goals aren't just some add-on. ISO 14001 demonstrates how a structured, systemic approach weaves environmental thinking right into the core of a business. And that leads to real, tangible benefits, stuff you can measure. Environmentally, yes, but also economically. It's more than just good intentions. It's a blueprint for results.
Okay, so if a company goes, right, we're doing ISO 14001, what are they really aiming for beyond just looking green? What are the, deeper goals?
That's a great question. If you look at the core objectives, ISO 14001 really pushes organizations towards 5 key things. First, the obvious one, minimize their environmental impact, emissions, resource use, all that.
Right.
Second, making sure they're complying with all the relevant laws and regulations, avoiding fines, bad press. That's a huge motivator.
Sure, compliance is always big.
Third, and this is critical, is continual improvement of environmental performance. It's not a one-shot deal. It's this ongoing commitment to find the next efficiency, the next reduction, always getting better.
An ongoing process, not just ticking a box.
Exactly. Fourth is enhancing their corporate image and credibility. Builds trust with customers, investors, everyone.
Makes sense.
And fifth, improving resource efficiency, which, as you hinted earlier, often hits the bottom line directly.
Okay, yeah, that last point, resource efficiency, the bottom line that feels like the real aha moment for a lot of people, right? It's not just about being green, even if it costs a fortune. So beyond the compliance and the image boost, what other really practical benefits do companies actually see when they implement this properly?
Well, it's precisely that blend of doing good and good business that makes it stick. So yes, there's the regulatory compliance keeps them out of trouble, but there's also a clear, often measurable drop in their actual environmental footprint.
Okay.
But to your point, this frequently translates straight into lower operating costs. Think about it, optimizing energy use, slashing waste disposal fees, finding efficiencies in how they get their materials.
Yeah.
These aren't small changes, They can add up to significant savings.
Wow, okay. Real money.
Real money.
Yeah.
And it builds massive stakeholder trust. That's gold in today's market. And maybe the most powerful driver for business, it gives them a genuine competitive advantage.
How so?
Well, companies showing this level of commitment, they often find it easier to win contracts, attract good employees, and definitely appeal to consumers who care about the environment.
So the business case really is solid then.
Very solid.
All right, so let's say a company sees all this, they're convinced. How do they actually, build this environmental management system? What are the bits and pieces they need to put together according to ISO 14001?
Okay, yeah, let's get into the structure, because it's definitely more than just a simple checklist. It's quite a comprehensive approach. The standard, ISO 1401.2015, lays out 7 key elements. Think of them as the building blocks.
7? Okay.
First is understanding the context of the organization. Basically, who are we, what do we do, and what specific environmental issues relate to us?
A chemical plant is different from an IT firm.
Right, makes sense.
Tailored.
Exactly. Then number 2, leadership and commitment. This is crucial. Top management has to be genuinely on board, accountable, not just passing it down the line.
Got it. Leadership's key.
Absolutely. Third is planning. This is where they look at risks, opportunities related to the environment, and then set actual measurable objectives. What do we want to achieve?
Planning. Okay. What's next?
Support. This covers everything needed to make it happen. Resources, people, money, equipment. Training and awareness for staff.
Mm,
good communication, and proper documentation, keeping track of things.
right, the practical stuff.
Then comes operational control. This is putting the plans into action, managing the processes day to day to control environmental impact,
Doing the work.
pretty much. Number 6 is performance evaluation. Monitoring, measuring, analyzing. Are we actually meeting our objectives? Are things working? This includes internal audits.
Checking if it's effective.
Yes. And finally, number 7, improvement. This is about dealing with any problems or nonconformities that crop up. And crucially, driving that continuous improvement we talked about. Always looking to do better.
Okay, that framework sounds, well, pretty thorough. But how do they stop it from just becoming a binder on a shelf? Make sure it's actually a living system that keeps evolving.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
That's where the operational engine comes in the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. PDCA.
PDCA. Heard of that.
Yeah, it's fundamental to most good management systems. And it's not just a straight line, it's a constant loop. That's what guarantees it keeps improving, not just hitting a target once.
So how does PDCA work here?
Okay, so plan is where you identify your environmental aspects, like what parts of your operation affect the environment, you figure out legal requirements, and you set your objective. What are we trying to do?
Plan it out. Got it.
Then do. You implement the processes, the controls, the actions you planned. You actually, well, do it. Then check. This is vital. You monitor, you measure your performance against the objectives you set. Are we hitting the targets? Where are the gaps?
Measure the results.
Exactly. And finally, act. Based on what you found in the check stage, you take action. Correct problems, refine processes, maybe set new, more ambitious objectives. And that feeds right back into the plan stage for the next cycle.
Ah, I see. So it constantly feeds back into itself.
Precisely. It drives that ongoing refinement. It ensures the system adapts and optimizes over time. It's never really finished.
Its continuous loop idea is powerful.
Okay, stepping back a bit. Who is actually using ISO 14001? Is it just heavy industry or is it broader than that?
Oh, it's much broader than many people think. Its applicability is actually quite wide. Sure, you absolutely find it in manufacturing, oil and gas sectors with obvious environmental footprints.
Right, you'd expect that. But you also see it widely adopted by construction companies, logistics firms, service providers. Honestly, the source material suggests any organization, regardless of size or sector, that wants to systematically manage and reduce its environmental impact can use it.
Really? Any organization.
Pretty much. Its widespread use really highlights how globally recognized and influential it's become. It's definitely not some niche standard anymore.
That's actually quite impressive. Okay, so lots of different companies, but let's bring it down to the individual level. What about people like you listening? Maybe someone working in one of these places or thinking about it. What's the role of an employee in all this? What should they know day to day?
Yeah, that's a really important piece because an EMS only truly works if employees are engaged. The sources point to a few key things employees need to be aware of. First, just understanding their specific role in minimizing environmental impact. It might be different for everyone, depending on their job.
Okay, knowing their part.
Yes. And then consistently following the procedures. Simple things, maybe, like proper waste sorting, recycling, being mindful of energy use. These small actions add up across an organization.
Right, the daily habits.
Absolutely. Also, being encouraged to report things. If they see an environmental issue, a potential risk, even something small, they should know how and feel comfortable reporting it.
So speak up.
Exactly. And finally, suggesting improvements. Often, the best ideas for making things more efficient or less wasteful come from the people doing the actual work. Their input is valuable.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's awareness, following rules, reporting issues, and even suggesting better ways.
That sums it up well. And you can see how those connect directly to actions you as an individual can take at work, sure, but maybe even thinking about these things in your own life, too.
Wow. This has been really insightful getting deep into ISO 14001 like this. It really paints a clear picture. It's this structured global way for organizations not just to be greener, but to get real business benefits too. Cost savings, that competitive edge we talked about is much more strategic than maybe it first appears.
Exactly. And what stands out is that idea of systematic improvement. It's not random, it's planned, it's measured, it's constantly refined using that PDCA cycle. It's about embedding continuous learning into how the organization operates environmentally.
Yeah, that systematic approach seems key.
Yeah.
So thinking about all this, especially that focus on continual improvement and how even individual employee actions matter. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How could adopting a similar kind of systematic thinking, maybe even in a small way, affect environmental efforts in your own life or your own workplace, even if it's not a giant corporation?
That's a fascinating thought to end on because it raises a bigger question too, right? If a global standard like ISO 14001 can drive this kind of positive systemic change across so many different industries, what other big challenges, environmental or otherwise, could benefit from this kind of structured continuous improvement approach? Where else could we apply this thinking?